Hi and welcome. This is a 20-minute feel-good flow that you could do at any time of the day whenever you feel like you need a moment for yourself to reset and move your body. So let's get started in a downward facing dog. As we come up into downward facing dog, have a quick look at your hands, spread the fingers and press the floor away. And then relax the head and drop it through your arms, looking between the feet. As you continue to press the floor away with the hands, now bend your right knee, keep the left leg straight. Switch sides, bend your left knee, straighten your right leg. And then go side to side a few times in your own time, just pedaling on the spot to warm up our toes, the bottom of the feet, the back of the legs, and to lengthen our upper body. We start to find a little opening through the shoulders as well, and some power through our arms and shoulders. So from here, if you are still pedaling on the spot, now see if you can settle into stillness. And feel free to have your knees slightly bent if you need to. Take a breath into your downward facing dog. And as you exhale, drop the knees into child's pose and sit onto the heels. Take a nice and long inhale for child's pose. And then come up into tabletop position on your hands and on your knees. From tabletop, as you inhale, lift your tail, your chest, your gaze, and push the floor away. As you exhale, round the spine, chin to chest, tailbone tucks. And just 2 more times, inhaling to arch. Exhaling to round. Final cat-cow, inhale. Round, exhale. Reset into a neutral spine. And then now look over to your right hip, shortening the right side of the waist. We bring the shoulder towards the right hip, and we lengthen the left side of the waist. Switch sides, look over to your left hip. And then one more time on each side, look to your right hip. Look to your left hip. Reset back into a neutral spine. Tuck the toes and come back up into downward facing dog. From your downward dog, this time look forwards and take tiny steps to the front of the mat. Feel free to have the knees as bent as they need to be, and then walk the feet just behind your wrists. Bend the knees even more and let the upper body hang down. So possibly you have your torso resting on the front of your thighs, so your knees are really deeply bent. Let the head hang, take a couple of nods of the head, yes and no. And then hold on to opposite elbows. Straighten your knees just slightly, and then add a little sway side to side. Now begin to settle all the way back to center. Let the arms hang. Soften the knees and slowly roll up all the way to standing. Little by little, the head is the last thing that lifts. And eventually, once we are here, we settle into Tadasana. So our feet are hip distance apart or together, wherever you prefer to have them. Toes point forward, standing tall. Your arms are relaxed alongside the body. The top of the skull lifts to the ceiling. Take a breath into Tadasana. Exhale completely. Inhale the arms to the sky. Exhale, fold into Uttanasana, bending the knees, relaxing the head down. Lift the hands to the shins, lengthen the upper body. Exhale and fold all the way. Inhale, lift to standing, reach the arms up, lengthen. Exhale, Tadasana. This time, reach the arms up, and with your right hand, hold onto the opposite wrist. Start to pull both hands over to your right side, creating a little bit more length into the left side of the body. Be mindful of the sensations around your left shoulder. So see where you want to reach and stop when you find your edge. Hold it there, just one last inhale. And then exhale back to center. Switch hands. On the inhale, we lift the fingers to the sky.
On the exhale, we side bend to the left. Now coming back to center, exhale and fold, Uttanasana. Lift and lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. Hands to the mat, step your right foot back, right knee to the ground. Lift into a low lunge, inhale. Drop the arms, interlace behind your back. Knuckles towards the ground, shoulder blades together, and top of the skull lifts. As you're opening the front of your chest, think of drawing in the front ribs and the belly button in towards the spine. Breathing here, we expand the front of the chest and shoulders. One last inhale. Exhale, release the arms. Reach them overhead, breathing in. Hands to the floor as step back into plank. Now hold your plank. Shoulders on top of the wrists. All the fingers pressing into the ground, but especially feel your thumbs and your pinky fingers actively pushing into the floor, and the knuckles at the base of your other fingers pressing down. Take another inhale for plank. Exhale, bend the knees, drop them to the floor, bend the elbows and slowly lower the chest down. Lift into cobra, shoulders back and down. Exhale, sit on the heels, child's pose. Take a breath into child's pose. On the exhale, lift back, downward facing dog. Spend the breath into downward dog. A long exhalation. And then ground the hands, ground your left foot, lift the right foot up, keeping your pelvis level. So we're not lifting the hip up, we're not opening the hip up, we're rather lifting the leg to where it stops before we have to roll the hips open to lift higher. So now you start to activate a little more through the back of your right leg. Your hamstrings begin to fire, your right side glutes are a little engaged. And then look between the hands, lightly step your right foot forwards. Left knee to the mat, inhale, low lunge. Exhale, release the arms down. Interlace, taking the thumb that doesn't usually go on top. So switching the interlace to the usual, knuckles down, shoulder blades drawn together. Navel in, front ribs in. Top of the skull lifts and lengthens. Inhale here. Exhale here. Just one last inhalation. Exhale, release the arms. Take a breath in, arms up. Hands to the mat, step forwards and forward fold. Lift and lengthen to a halfway lift. Exhale and fold all the way down. Inhale, lift to standing. Pause in Tadasana, exhale. Release the arms down and then bring your feet closer together. Take your right leg and cross it on top of your left leg. So one foot is in front of the other and the right foot is a little bit to the left. And then from here, we're going to reach the arms up. Right hand is holding on to the left wrist. We put a little bend into the knees, just a little softness through the knees. Inhale, lift the fingers to the sky. Exhale, side bend to your right. So now, not only you're opening that left side waist and underneath the armpit, but maybe you get a little more opening through the outside of the left hip. 2. So hold it here, couple of more breaths. And then all the way back to center, release the arms. Uncross the legs, recross the other way. Little bend into the knees, just for stability. Arms up. Left hand holds onto the opposite wrist. We inhale, lift the fingers to the sky. Exhale, side bend to the left. And then from here, back to center. Release the arms and fold all the way. Lift and lengthen halfway up. Hands to the mat, step your left foot back, left knee down. Lift the arms, inhale, and then open the arms out into cactus, bending at the elbows. Take a breath in. Exhale, bring your forearms together, your palms face you. Lift the elbows, lift the fingertips, and then see if you can maintain your elbows together and pull the hands apart. As you hold it there, I'm just going to show you the position just in case it's not clear. Your elbows are together, your thumbs are apart, your inner hands are apart. As you hold it there, watch that your elbows don't go down, but keep them a little higher than you probably wish. Take another breath in. Exhale, release the hands to the mat and step back into plank. Pause for a breath in plank. Exhale, either knees down or straight chaturanga. Cobra or upward dog. Downward dog. Exhale. As you arrive into down dog, hold and pause. Inhale your left leg to sky. Again, keeping the pelvis level so that we engage the left hamstrings a little bit into the left glutes too. The left foot is also a little active, so it's not completely dead or asleep, but it's engaged. We might want to point the left toes. We might want to spread the toes. We're pushing down with the hands, just one last inhale. Exhale, step your left foot forwards between the hands, right knee drops. Low lunge, inhale. Arms out into cactus, exhale. Take a breath for cactus. Exhale, draw the forearms together, your palms face you. Lift the elbows slightly, and then separate your hands. Feel your upper back spreading, and the muscles in the back of your shoulders beginning to engage and activate. We're holding it one last breath. As you exhale, release the hands, step forwards and fold. Lift and lengthen, inhale. Fold completely, exhale. Up to standing, inhale, lift and reach. Tadasana, exhale. Shift the body weight into your left foot, release the arms. Lift the right knee up towards your chest and watch that your left hip doesn't stick out to the left, but it's hugged in towards the center. And then find tree pose with the foot either above the knee, below the knee, or toes down if the balance is a little tricky. Hands to the heart center to start with, and then lift the arms up if that works for you. Take your right hand to the right knee, so the back of the hands is resting towards the knee. And then side bend over to your right. So with your left arm, you're reaching over to your right side. So a little side bend into your tree. Steady gaze, steady breathing. One last breath into tree. And then come back to center, release the arms. You're going to lift the right knee back up. And then slowly from here, we step back into a high lunge. So we're onto the ball of the right foot. The right heel is lifted. The arms reach up and over. Inhale here. Exhale, turning around your right foot. Open out, warrior two. As you hold your warrior two, look over your left middle finger. Breathe. Feel the grounding of the feet. Big toes, little toes pressing into the earth. Both heels firmly anchored to the floor. Have a quick peek down at your left knee and check that it doesn't collapse in. But if something, imagine there is a hand to the outside of your left thigh and you're pressing into that imaginary hand. That will engage your glutes and will prevent the knee from collapsing inward. Just one last inhale. Exhale, reverse the warrior. Take a breath into reverse warrior. Exhale, windmill the arms down. Step back into your plank. Take a breath at the top of plank. Exhale, drop the knees, bend the elbows all the way to the mat. Shift the forearms forwards into Sphinx position. Open up through the chest, and with your hands, you're pressing down and you're pulling in towards your elbows, towards your chest. Take another breath for Sphinx. Exhale, release. Hands to the mat underneath the shoulders. Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Spin the breath into down dog. A long exhalation. And this time, bend the knees and look forwards. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand, your left foot to the outside of your left hand, and then lower your seat into a squat. You might go halfway down, you might go all the way down, but if you are very flexible, rather than sinking down like I am doing now, lift your hips a little bit so there is some engagement through the muscles around your hips and thighs. Take a breath into Malasana. Exhale, fold forwards, Uttanasana. Point the toes forwards, relax the head down. Lift and lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and fold Uttanasana. Inhale up to standing, lift and reach. Exhale, Tadasana. Shift the body weight into your right foot. Lift your left knee up into your chest. Find tree pose on the second side. The hands can stop in prayer, or maybe we reach the arms up. If we reach the arms up, we're going to take the left hand to the left thigh, palm facing up, and then add a little side bend. As we take the right hand to the left, we are stretching the right side of the body, adding a little challenge for our balance. So important to keep that steady gaze and steady breathing, keeping our focus. From there, come back to center, release the arms, lift your left knee, and then slowly from here, we're going to step back into a high lunge. Onto the ball of the left foot, left heel lifted, arms up. We turn and ground the left heel and open out into warrior two. We look over the right middle finger, we steady the gaze. We're keeping the breath flowing in through the nose and out of the nose the whole time. Now flip your palms up, inhale, reach forwards. Exhale, reverse warrior. As you reverse the warrior again, you're creating space in the right side rib cage. Just one last inhale. Exhale, windmill the arms down, step back into your plank. And from plank, drop the knees down and drop all the way to the mat. Again, shift your forearms forwards into Sphinx position. Take a breath into Sphinx, opening your chest. Pressing with all the fingers down and pulling towards your feet. Take a breath into Sphinx. Exhale, start to lift your abdomen, your pelvis and thighs. Tuck the toes, lift the knees into forearm plank. Now think of pulling the mat forwards with your hands now and pulling the mat back with your feet. You're strong through the entire body. And in particular, you want to avoid your hips from piking up. You're keeping your hips to the same height as your shoulders. You're broadening the upper back. You're taking just one last breath into forearm plank and then drop the knees, the thighs, the pelvis, the belly. Open the chest, Sphinx pose. Exhale, release to the mat. Make a pillow with the hands. Right hand on top of the left hand. Forehead to the ground. Forehead to the right hand. Inhale. Exhale, lift your right arm entirely. Your forehead is resting on the right hand. And lift the opposite leg, being careful that your left hip does not lift, but both hip points, right side and left side, are pressing into the mat. That means that now you're using your muscles to lift. You're not lifting through your pelvis. And then release all the way down. We repeat just one last time. Inhale. Exhale, lift your right arm, your left leg. Hold. Release to the ground and then switch sides. So your left hand is on top of the right. We're going to inhale, lift the left arm, lift the right leg, hold. Everything that is touching the ground is pressing the ground away. But maybe we can feel that we're lifting the front of the belly in towards the spine a little bit. Release down, inhale, lift back up, exhale, left arm, right leg. Release all the way down. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, rest one cheek on the floor and rock the hips side to side. From here, we're going to lift into an easy cobra and sit on the heels for child's pose. We'll end our practice in child's pose, so make it a comfortable position for you. If you need your hands to go back to the heels, that's an option. You could also want to have your knees together or your knees apart. You choose. As we stay in child's pose, think of letting the breath move through the body. You probably feel the belly expand, the ribs expand as you inhale.
And everything soften as you exhale. You can maybe also feel your upper back spread and broaden as you inhale, and relax as you exhale. We'll just give it one last inhale. One last exhale. Gently lift yourself back into a seated position. And we end our practice here today. So thank you so much for taking the time to practice. Nice and short, nice and quick. If you want to add a relaxation, I'll link in the video for a Shavasana so you can do a leg relaxation with me. And otherwise, look forward to seeing you next time. Please like the video, subscribe, and share it with friends. And thank you so much again. Namaste.